So yesterday I went to 7-Eleven and there was a sign that says long-haired hippie people that they can't go in without covering up their face. There is something that I do want to do, and I think I will. I want to go in to a store and I want to wear not a mask, not doing the mask ever, all right? But I want to just cover my entire face up, and from my nose, and then have something like this, like basically like this, and walk into Walmart and then just ask them, like, is this okay for me? Because I look like a bank robber. You sure you want to allow me to come into your store? Because they always have like the person is right at the door checking your it's a count. They count the people that come into the store. But I haven't done that yet. So no, I have never went in with a mask. But you were eating. I heard you eating. That's so funny because I got Justin when I was talking to him yesterday. Because he said that it was his interpretation, and that's the whole point. I wanted to leave it up for your interpretation as to what, like, if there's another explanation besides me either going in with the mask on or me not going in with the mask on. There's a lot of good theories out there, but I gotta say, out of all the theories, Skywatch, you nailed it. You nailed it. It's a pinned comment on that video, and the guy recognized me from the past 2 weeks going in there without a mask on. So when I seen him, because I'm looking at the sign like, whatever, see ya. Getting snagged up here. But then, I didn't want to say what happened because, the guy could get in trouble. But he can only get in trouble if there's a snitch on my channel that wants to snitch. But it doesn't matter anyway, because there's only a couple more weeks of this crap, and everything's going to need a damn mask, and everything's going to shut the frick completely down, and you're not going to be able to buy or sell with money anyway. So it's only prolonging the inevitable, like I said yesterday, that a mask is a requirement to go into a store. It ain't like I didn't see that one coming, but it's at the person's discretion. Yeah, you have to put a sign up. However, you need to volunteer to put that mask on to go in that store. It's a voluntarily experience. To see people doing it voluntarily when you're just driving in your car. Look, if you're one of the people that does that, can't really say anything about it besides you got to do what you got to do. You'll find out later on what this is all about, and if you're not watching my channel, you will not find out later on what this is all about, and Christ will come as a thief in the night, and 1,000 years from now they'll be saying that they're waiting for Christ to return for the second time. It's just the way it is. Not everybody's supposed to know. And I've come to the conclusion that that's the way it's going to be. 7 billion people. They're just going to be left up to trying to believe, was Trump the Messiah? Was it Pence? Because he took up. But is it Kushner? Is he the Antichrist? No. It's Global Witness. Derek Bros. That's the one. Yeah, it takes some time. I mean, you gotta go through all the lies and deception, and then Because here's the three main people that I've come against. Well, actually Trump too. So it's 4 people. It started with Stephen James DeShawn, because I knew he had the world script in his hand, and he knew what was going to happen before it did. Then it was Trump. Then it was Click, and then it was Global Witness. Now it's Global. Now it's you, Global. It's you. You're playing out every possible part, very strategically planned and very detailed, very well executed. Day in and day out, you have a plan for every single thing to line up to where, you and your wife, Mary, are, you wrote in the sand. You wrote in the sand all those people's names as Christ, and you got everybody to drop their stones because they were convicted in their heart for rape, sexual abuse, that kind of thing. I highly doubt it was true, because you run the world, so you're not going to allow it to happen to your wife. Sorry. But it's a good script. You fit the role very well to be that character. You love talking about the serpent and sticking your tongue out like a lizard. I mean, I got lizard friends. My best friend, he's a shapeshifter. He's an Illuminati lizard family shapeshifter. But it doesn't matter if you're a lizard or not. It just matters. Even lizards can't stand people that lie. And when that's what they were created for, to weave through social media to make sure that whoever's lying is going to get off when the switch is flicked, then that's the purpose. My purpose is to bring attention to the people that are lying. And whoever is in charge of plucking that person off will pluck that person off until everything is completely cleansed. But beforehand, we have to go through this. Everything's voluntarily. You can voluntarily wear the mask. You can voluntarily get tested and have that thing shoved up your nose. You can voluntarily get the vaccine. And they can sneakily inject you with the mark that travels through your blood, and then you have it in your system because you fell for it. If a store doesn't want to accept my money and you want a mask, you're not getting my business, because it'll get to the point where you need to show your test results first. And then that's not good enough. You need to show your actual vaccine that you have. And then, then you can get in the door. But there's definitely a 21-day period coming right up. It's looking like April 30th at the end of this 30-day that Trump's going to extend it. And there's going to be 14 days until the great earthquake on Israel, May 14th. My dad, he died on May 14th, 2013. So this will be 7 years come up May 14th, because there's 2 witnesses that they're going to lie in the street for 3.5 days. 3.5 years. And then after 3.5 days, because a day is for a year, 3.5 years. After 3.5 days, it's a 7-day period altogether, 7 years. And then there's going to be a great earthquake that happens after 7 years in Israel. It's going to be a fantastic one. I'd say it'll be about a 10.5 magnitude earthquake. And then from that point on, you got your 7 days that it's just absolute complete destruction on planet Earth, nonstop. We're going into May 21st. That's been my date from the gate. The very beginning of this YouTube career, I've talked about May 21st being the date, the rapture, the catching away, the taking out. And come this year, 2020, May 21st, now I realize that it's a rapture, all right? It damn sure is a rapture. And people are going to be taken out. Some are going to be left, some are going to go. Who's going to be left? Who's going to go? If you go, where are you going? And if you're left, are you going to be right next time? Or are you going to be wrong? Because I don't know who's going to be left or right, or if you're going to be taken or left behind. Who's going to leave you and who's going to take you? Who's going to get taken? Who's going to get left? It's up for your interpretation. The one thing that will happen is the lies will be taken out of the system. Everybody has a vote. Do you want to vote for the false Messiah, which will be Derek Broze, because he's showing you all the power that he has. He has the power of the air also, just like his brother. They're kind of fighting about this, but not really. I mean, I see a lot more confidence in Click, just knowing that he knows the same thing that I know, which is the truth. And you can't, I don't care who the person is. When you present the truth to a person, and they're say they're like King Agrippa or something, and just, hypothetically speaking, of course, let's say you hand all this information to King Agrippa, the truth, and there's facts, and there's proof, and there's timestamps, and there's everything imaginable to possibly show you that we will meet in Philadelphia with this fireball. And then it happens. Well, sorry, Derek Broze, but you have the world script in your hand and I don't. It's not the same when you have the world script and you're predicting things. It doesn't count. It's not fair. You're cheating. Because I don't have the world script and I figured it out. And not only that, right towards the very end, finally put a match to that King of the North and the King of the South. Because there's 4 kings that rise up, and the 4th is far richer than they all. Now, Donald Trump has a lot of money, of course. I mean, according to what the script is telling us, even though all the money in the world is, the characters that are playing Inky and Enlil, the characters that are playing out the real Inky and Enlil. But there's 2 that play that out, and there's 2 that are really that. But the acting has to come to an end because the reality is true. And that's when the truth is understood and none come to your help. I thought it was Steve at first, then I thought it was Kleck. Now I understand it's you. Well, at least I figured that part out before the beginning of the end of the shutdown of the 21 days being held up, strikes, YouTube strikes. Don't forget JB Rocks. I mean, no, not you. You're going down with your boss as well. I don't even think you're a Kleckite. I think you are a Brozite. You're a Brozite. There's Brozites and there's Kleckites. I know that the Kleckites, a lot of yous are, a lot of yous are happy people, like Kleck. That's why the Brozites want to get rid of the Kleckites, because the Brozites are calling the Kleckites Sodom and Gomorrah. because you guys are happy. He don't like that. You don't like happiness. Even though it's none of his business what you do, where you do, whatever you do, but he just does not like that. He wants to put an end to having fun. Now, I've said publicly that you can love another man. You don't have to have sex with the other man if you're a man. Same thing with a woman. You don't have to. The love is the thing that is permanent. The sex is a temporary temptation to do that. If you do that, you do that. It ain't none of my business. It's what you do behind closed doors is what you do. I'm just saying it's not necessary. If a relationship is based off of sex, even a man and a woman, if it's based off of that and that's what you rely on and that's what you keep your security in, and if you don't have sex, then you must be cheating. Well, you're suffering from the virus, because love is what's permanent in your heart, not the sex that's temporary. It's a temporary fix. It's the same as eating food. You have a thought and you go and run with it. You have a thought to eat something. What do? You pick some food up and you eat it. How about when you don't eat it and you refrain from it? It's a temptation. That's why fasting is the most important thing anybody can do on planet Earth. To refrain from eating from food helps you to refrain from unnecessary habits and sin. It just helps you with sin. Just keep that in mind, that's all. Nobody has to have sex with each other in order to love each other, to have companionship. What? All kinds of bottles on the ground for some reason. So the winner is Skywatch, because the guy knew me from going in there for the previous 2 weeks and said, I would have to say it was the owner of the establishment, because if it was an employee and the owner put the sign on the window, well, watch, I'll go there I'll go there for lunch today and it'll be shut down. But the owner recognized that I'm not walking into the store with the mask, and if you still want my business, then here, take it. Other than that, I'm not doing it. But I do want to do the thing with the mask, the bank robbery look, just to see how uncomfortable I can feel and make other people feel while I'm walking through there.